Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 1, Book 1, Vidyeshvara Samhita, Chapter 8, Shiva's Forgiveness of Brahma in the Shiva Puran. Vakratna Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nidabeganam Gurave Hari Om Tat Sat. Nandikeshvara said, Mahadeva then created a wonderful person, Bhairava, from the middle of his brows to quell the pride of Brahma. This Bhairava knelt before the Lord in the battlefield and said, O Lord, what shall I do? Please give me your directives quickly. Here is Brahma, the first deity of the universe. Worship him with your sharp-pointed, quick-moving sword. With one of his hands, he caught hold of the tuft of Brahma's fifth head that was guilty of haughtily uttering a falsehood, and with the hands he furiously shook his sword in order to cut it off. Your father trembled like a plantain tree in a whirlwind, with his ornaments scattered here and there, his cloth ruffled and loosened, the garland displaced, the upper cloth hanging loose, and the glossy tuft dishevelled, and fell at the feet of Bhairava. Meanwhile, the sympathetic Achyuta, desirous of saving Brahma, shed tears over the lotus-like feet of our Lord and said, with palms joined in reverence, just like a child, lisping words of entreaty to its father. Achyuta said, O Lord, it was you who gave him 5 heads as a special symbol long ago. Hence, please forgive him. His first guilt, please favor him. The Lord, thus requested by Achyuta, relented, and in the presence of all devas asked Bhairava to desist from punishing Brahma. Then the Lord turned to the deceitful Brahma, who bent down his neck and said, O Brahma, in order to extort honor from the people, you assume the rule of the Lord in a roguish manner. Hence you shall not be honored, nor shall you have your own temple or festival. Brahma said, O Lord, be pleased, O flourishing one. I consider this sparing of my head itself a great blessing and a boon. Obeisance to thee, the Lord, the kingsman, the originator of the universe, the forbearing, the forgiver of defects, the benevolent one, wielding the mountain as his bow. Ishvara said, O child, the whole universe will be ruined if it loses the fear of a king. Hence, you met out punishment to the guilty and bear the burden of administering this universe. I shall grant you another boon which is very difficult to get. In all domestic and public sacrifices, you will be the presiding deity. Even though a sacrifice is complete with all the ancillary rites and offerings of monetary gifts, it will be fruitless without you. Then the Lord turned to the deceitful Ketaka flowers, guilty of perjury, and said, O you Ketaka flower, you are roguish and deceitful. Go away from here. Hereafter, I have no desire to include you in my worship. The Lord said thus, all the devas shunned the very presence of the flower. Ketaka said, Obeisance to thee, O Lord. Your bidding will mean that my very birth is fruitless. May the Lord be pleased to make it fruitful by forgiving my sin. Thy remembrance is reputed to quell all sins perpetrated consciously or unconsciously. Now that I have seen thee, how can the sin of uttering falsehood sully me? Thus entreated in the middle of the council, the Lord said, "It is not proper for me to wear you. I am the Lord, and my words must stay true. My attendants and followers shall wear thee. Hence thy birth shall be fruitful. Of course, in the canopies over my idol, you can be used for decoration." The Lord thus blessed the three, the flower, Ketaka, Brahma, and Vishnu. He is shown in the assembly duly eulogized by the Devas. Footnotes. 43. Brahma's 5 heads. When the 4 faces of Brahma became thwarted in their function because of Brahma's erotic impulse, then out of his tapas was produced a 5th head. On the top, and that head was covered with matted locks. An image of Brahma in the Kushana period. At Mathura, the 5th head on the top is shown with mustaches, beard, and long locks, a feature which is only found in the Kusana period from the 1st to the 3rd century. But later on, the 5th head was eliminated, and a new theory was devised that Brahma's head was eclipsed by Rudra. The fact was that the 5th head, corresponding to Akasha, was taken to be invincible, being a symbol of his unmanifest form, Avyakta Murti, and that only the 4 others became manifest. Here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Prabhupada Tapyo Veshwanatham Jagannatham Tapachapudi Kapurakaram Om Tuya Mata Chapitatmaya Tuya Bandhu Shacha Sakatmaya Tuya Vidya Devinang Tamaya Tuya Sarvamani. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om Tat Sat.